You're not dreaming. Oh no, you're not dreaming. Can you believe it? What is going on here, huh? It's like a parallel dimension. Everything's about the same except for, everything's different except for the fat guy in the pirate hat, huh? Anyway, welcome to the Gaming Galleon. I'm Captain Raz. Thanks for another exciting voyage. Thanks for coming and joining me. For the next 60 or so minutes, it's time for imagination, excitement, adventure, and maybe even a little loot. What's going on here? Well, what can I say? We did a little spring cleaning here in the captain's quarters, and where I'm standing now is actually someplace you may find a little familiar. If you notice, the door is over here. This is where the navigator used to be. Believe it or not. So we moved it around, though. Decided to put it out in the middle of the quarters, just to give a little breathing room, show off some of our more interesting things that we do here on the show. We've got our booty chest right over here. We've got our mailbag over here. And we made sure this thing didn't leak too much. So we're good to go on our new location. It's still the captain's quarters. We're just about... God, we're only about 2 feet where we used to be. Can you believe it? What a difference 2 feet makes, huh? So anyway, it's a very special day. As you can see, we pulled out the old birthday streamers because it is somebody's birthday out there. Another loyal crew member. It's actually there's a little. I gotta admit, there's a little nepotism going on today because this one's in honor of my sister Tracy. She's lucky enough to have a birthday in the fall, late enough where it's separate. It's away from Halloween, but early enough that it's not too close to Christmas. You know, the leaves are falling. It's crisp outside. You can have little adventures, hikes, and whatnot on your birthday. So it's a good time for it to happen, and we just want to do a little celebrating here. And in honor of her birthday, what I decided to do was give her 3 options as to where we're going to take the ship this week. That's right. I gave her 3 destinations, and I said, in honor of your birthday, you get to tell us where we're going to be, bringing our little tub of adventure. Where on the Silicon Seas is the old gaming galleon going to head this week? And let me see. Hold on a second. I got it right here. I sent her through... Oh, I turned it off. That's okay. It's no problem. I sent her 3 options, okay? And these are the options. I said, it's up to you, whichever way you want to go, but here's the 3. The first one, a familiar theme park. The second one, explore uncharted waters with an old friend. And the third one is a trip into your ancient past. And I presented those 3 to her, and I left our safety, our goodwill, and our adventure up to her. And, for a moment, think about what you would pick. Now, me personally, honestly, I think I would have picked the theme park, mainly because our last 3 voyages have not been easy. I mean, what happened? 3 voyages ago, we were stuck in this medieval village that was being terrorized by a sorceress and a dragon. Time after that, we found ourselves... falling to our doom over and over in a haunted castle out in Transylvania. And then just recently, my butt's still burning from all the blaster fire we took out on Tatooine. So trust me, I could use a break. But it's not my birthday, is it? So, when given the choice between a familiar theme park, exploring uncharted waters with an old friend, or a trip into her ancient past, predictably, I think we'd all do this, really. She chose the trip into her ancient past. So that's what we're going to be dealing with today. There was a time when my sister was quite the gamer. Now she She's taken on a new adventure into becoming a family gal, and is dealing with all those challenges. Unlike, your old Sea Dog here is used to dealing with monsters and shipwrecks and elementals. She's dealing with things like runny noses and getting the husband out to work on time and keeping all the toys off the floor. Trust me, sometimes it's easier to fight an elemental. So, what are we looking at, though? She's been through a lot, and I don't know if she even remembers if she played this one. I have a feeling she does, though, because this is one of those, for her, this is like, if you ever have a movie or read a book, you finish a book or watch a movie, or play a game that you just happen to pick up in a bargain bin, and you play through it, or you read it, and you're like, it's incredible. It's like one of the best pieces of media you've ever consumed. And you're so excited about it that you want to tell the world, or you want to talk about it. But it seems like it's so obscure that you don't know anyone who shares those feelings. And I believe she played this in a time when the internet was around, but was still, not as commonplacely used as it is today. So a game like this, it was probably hard for her to find someone to play with. And I remember getting this for her because I liked what I had heard about in the reviews, and I'd never played it personally. But I thought it was cool enough. It must have been a birthday or something, and I got it for her. And she liked it so much, she played through it at the time, years and years ago, and has since, now and then, brought it up and even recommended it and lent it to a couple people in the hopes that they'd play it. And I don't think she's ever really gotten anyone to do that. Until now. So, without further ado, we're heading out to a sleepy town, but not too sleepy. It's kind of hustle and bustle. There's some traffic. There's a bar. There's a couple of nice hotels. You can even buy some real estate. So I think it's going to be a nice change of pace for us. We're going to be heading out to a town called Nefroburg in the game Steambot Chronicles for the PlayStation 2. This was developed by Atlas, very favorite company of mine. They always bring over really cool Japanese games that you just can't get a hold of very often here in the States, especially in this time, which I believe is 2006. But while it was distributed by Atlas, it was made by IRIM, and you may know IRIM for their games like Metal Storm for the NES or the legendary R-Type. This isn't exactly a shooter, but it's very Japanese, much like those games. So let's get into it. I think we're running a little early, which is like unprecedented for us. But I think that's good because this is, there's a lot of options here. And that's kind of why I got it for her. And I think that's why she liked it so much. So without further ado, let's head in to Steambot Chronicles for the PlayStation 2. Just gonna bang into the navigator here a second. Come on, baby. Get a little audio here. And here we are. Alright, so as you can see, both in-game and out-of-game, I'm wearing a stupid hat. I have a sombrero, okay? This game's a little light on customization options. For one thing, the character I'm playing is called Vanilla, and so you can't really name your guy. And I don't even think you can change your gender. I think it's pretty much this guy's story. But I did grab this hat as I've been exploring this world. And this was made in 2006 or so, which was like the time when every game and their mom needed to be a Grand Theft Auto clone. But this one's a lot different. Already we're seeing some slight steampunk influences here. There's all kinds of metal and mesh. We're actually in the laboratory of a guy who's created something called a Trotmobile. And Trotmobiles are basically mechs in this game. This is actually a world where mechs, or giant rideable robots, are as commonplace as a car. And we even own one. And here it is. This here is my Trotmobile, okay? You find this really early in the game, and you get to customize it all along the way. When I found it, it was pretty rusted and beat up. Had a pretty scrappy arm on it. It was kind of rusty and brown, and it didn't have a license plate. And as you can see, I've done a little modifications to it. It even had some feet, but you know, I kind of liked the wheels. I always like Jeeps and stuff, so I figured I'd give it a shot with some wheels. And as you can see, I put a license plate on there, and I made that myself. It's a Stein full of rum. Well, not rum, ale. Trust me, if I had a Stein full of rum, we'd be about a month between voyages. So I'm gonna board into her, and that's when things really start to get interesting. Now here we go. We're actually out in the country. We're on our way to Nefroburg. We're not there yet, okay? And I thought it would be a good idea to kind of start us in the outskirts, just so you guys could get an idea of what this kind of game provides. It's open world to a certain extent. There are load screens. We'll see a couple on the way, but it's nothing that's too. But the whole world is pretty much connected to one another. You can go from point A to point B as long as there's nothing standing in your way. And as you can see, the camera, I don't know that that's necessarily on the game or on me, because this game has some really weird controls when it comes to driving our little Trotmobile here. I'm gonna have to jump this. Whew. Jump and boost. Whoa, what am I hearing? Oh yeah, you see these guys down here? Now they've got a Trotmobile, and they're trying to do what no other Trotmobile's ever done, which is actually fly. Trotmobiles are basically cars with arms. These guys are trying to change that. Kind of doing an Orville and not Orville and Redenbacher. Jesus. Wilbur and Orville. That's it. Wright brothers. Yeah, there's kind of a Wright brothers homage going on here. Who knows? Maybe one day in the adventure they'll succeed, but they're still working on it. But you know, I always love games. This really reminds me of kind of like Hyrule Field in Zelda Ocarina of Time. Just to be able to explore some country. You know, Grand Theft Auto is great, but you can only see so far because there's always buildings everywhere. Here, what's going on over here? Oh, I can't get out. Looks like they're building a house or something. You know, here you can kind of see the landscape and take it in. The music's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. And unfortunately, I think they're making a train station. And actually, I believe they're making it to Nefroburg, which is where we're headed. But we're going to have to take the long way. And I would say the fun way, because we get to drive our little Trotmobile. As for weaponry, you'll see up in the upper right-hand corner, actually tells you what kind of arms you have. And those can be changed. But I don't have a lot of money. In fact, how much money do we have? $158. That's not a lot. Especially if we're heading into Nefroburg. Man, hopefully we can find a little scratch along the way. But all these little buildings you can go into, and you see that cone down there, that's where you can park your Trotmobile, and then you can get out. So, these big long expanses here, you actually can't get out of the Trotmobile. So in that way, it's a little restrictive. The Trotmobile is definitely an essential part of the game. And hopefully you can hear me over this engine. Jeez. This thing, I'll tell you, not exactly purring like a kitten here. And then this guy here is basically a place you can refuel and even shop. And we're heading, it's going to be a little bit of a ways to Nefroburg. So just in case, we'll grab a little more fuel. And you can see all these options you have. You can change the color of your Trotmobile and even make those license plates. So, you know, customization is important in this game, or at least it's encouraged. And, you know, I think that's why this was the game that I felt was worth, you know, giving as a gift, even though I'd not played it myself, because there's a lot of instances like that you can just kind of, at least what I'd read, to kind of make the game your own. And who doesn't want to do that? This is a nice touch with the load screens. Is you get a little exposition as to where we're headed. I won't bore you with it. And obviously the load screens aren't that bad either. So we're almost in Nefroburg. And as you can tell, it's gotten a little darker. But we have to go through this canyon. And this canyon is where you can mine stuff. And this guy here, he's a miner. And you see he's got his Trotmobile too. Trotmobiles are used for all kinds of stuff in this game. Mining, transport. I believe there's even an arm for fishing. And I'll tell you what. Whoa, 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 what's hitting me? Whoa, what was that? These things are just dangerous. But I kind of want to take one out. Oh, wow, they're like just explosive kamikaze guys. Now, I'm relatively sure that these guys are bad. I mean, I hope so. Oh, jeez, those are so lame. Can you believe that? I really want to take one of these down. I never have. What's it called? A centipede? Centipede? Still looks like a centipede. There we go, I got one. And this is cool. Now we got some money. You know, hopefully that guy didn't have a family. But this money will come in handy when we get to Nefroburg. Because there's fun stuff to do out there. Provided we can find our way. I'm not exactly sure why my cannon arm up in the lower right-hand corner is blinking like that. I don't know if it's telling me I need to reload the arm or not. Frankly, I just bought this cannon, so I'm not sure. But I'll tell you what I can do with my left arm. I can actually grab environmental stuff and use it as a weapon. So that's pretty cool. Even the Trotmobile, you know, you can be a ranger if that's the kind of game you want to play, or you can go melee. How are we doing on time? Not bad. Let's go another 5 minutes or so. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I actually like taking these guys out. It's pretty fun. Oh, he's quick. Hey, where are you going? Oh no, am I out of ammo? Reload, dude! Oh. I can't reach him. Looks like my cannon's out of ammo. My arm's out of ammo. I almost got him. Finish him off! Yeah! Oh, there goes the guy. Well, that's nice. That's nice. We destroyed his, multi-million-dollar piece of equipment, but he's alive. I guess we don't have to feel too bad. And we got a little money. So how are we doing on money now? Well, 272. So we doubled our money. That's kind of cool. And let's head over to this this guy here. These things are all over the place. And in addition to fueling up, you can actually do a little shopping. Let's see what he's got. 5 frames. Now these are all the different pieces that you can get. and apply them to your truckmobile. This pickaxe arm would be really nice for where we are right now, because this is a mining district, and I have a feeling we'd be able to mine either some sort of precious stone that we could sell, or maybe even some money right out of this canyon. But we don't have a lot of money, and we are heading into the big city, so we better save the money we have. And without further ado, we've reached our destination. Here we are, Nefroburg. Now, from what I understand, there used to be a castle here. This used to be where a king lived, but that was a long time ago. His name was Nefro. But since the town's been built within the walls for safety, and they named the town after the king. Which again, I learned from right there while I'm loading, and that's a really nice touch. You know, you're not necessarily wasting your time sitting here. You know, you get to paint that picture in your mind a little bit. Now, here's where things get a little weird. You think about Grand Theft Auto, and the first thing you think about is driving, first of all, jacking a car, and second of all, driving it off the road. Here, things are a little different. I don't know if they have better laws and a better authority system in Nefroburg, but you can't do anything like that. You can go to all these places, and once you choose one, you kind of take a break and let the Trotmobile take over. Now let's see. I've actually never been to the arena, but that sounds like we can maybe get into a little scrapping. And I'll tell you what, let's head over there. But I think it's about time we hit the booty segment. Let's see, 10, 20, 25. I would say it's booty segment time. Now, right now, we'll get the Trotmobile to the arena and park. But again, I want to make it clear, I'm not moving the controller right now. I'm moving the camera. And look at this. Yeah, we're stopping at a red light. Eat your heart out, Grand Theft Auto. How about that? You got the courage to play a game where you're going to obey traffic laws? Huh! I don't think that I've ever seen a game that had you do that until I played this. Another thing that was just kind of groundbreaking. Is it groundbreaking if it was never done ever again? Because I mean, let's face it, this is a little slow. I hope we're there soon. Jeez. All right, looks like we're parking. Enter the arena. Oh, can we just fight outright? Huh. You know, we'll hold it there. We'll hold it there. Because I don't know what's going to go on in there. Frankly, there may even be some sort of cutscene or something. I don't really know. I'm not exactly sure. So, for now, we're just going to come on back. We're going to leave Nefroburg behind for a little bit. And we're going to get to the booty segment. And as you can see, here she sits. However, there's a lot that I have that couldn't even fit in the chest. So let's get into some of those. You know, I think we were out to... somebody told me, yeah, I saw one of your booty segments and it looked like you didn't get anything that great. Wasn't that excited about it. Well, I think you'll feel a little better about this one. So we'll see. Let's start at a place that never, ever, ever has good stuff these days. Goodwill. Okay? Goodwill is so farmed at this point. It's such a mark for a place to maybe get good video games for a good price, that it doesn't exist anymore. In fact, most Goodwills that I go into, they flat rate the games, but they flat rate them at $6 each, which is crazy. That's crazy. There was a time where they used to be flat rated for $2 or $3. Now it's up. But sometimes you get lucky. And we got lucky this day. I mean, I don't know how this happened. You know, sometimes you'll find like some decent PS2 games at a Goodwill. Maybe even a Sega Genesis game. You know, but really, I don't know. Very rare, and it's usually not a good Sega Genesis game. But sitting on a shelf with the VHSs, one lucky, very lucky day, I happen to find these three. Check them out. Sega Master System games. Again, this is the system that Sega had out before the Genesis. And to have them boxed like this, sitting at a Goodwill for $3 each, was crazy. Now, they're not the most rare of titles or anything like this. What do you got here? You got World Grand Prix. You know, racing game. But, you know, it's got the case, and it's got the manual. Pretty good stuff. Then we had Space Harrier. Space Harrier is a really, really famous old arcade game. It's on pretty much any Sega system you can think of, and it always holds up pretty well. Sadly, this one didn't have the manual, but what it did have was something I don't think I've ever seen before, because I didn't have one of these systems when I was a kid. But you got the game catalog from 1986. There's a poster in there too. I always like these catalogs because they always have like snappy lines. Let's see if there's one. Here we go. Introducing the Sega System of Entertainment, an interactive video game system without any limitations. That's right. Cutting edge technology here, baby. It's never going to get better than the Master System. All right, enough of that. Thank you. And then finally, this one I was really excited to find. Wonder Boy. This is the first in a trilogy of games on the Master System. If you've ever played Adventure Island for the NES, this is basically the same game. This was made by Hudson Soft, very good company. And I actually was so excited when I grabbed this one that I spent a lazy Saturday afternoon playing all the way through it, and I managed to beat it. It was a lot of fun, and that won't stop me from playing it again. The manual's got, I don't know, some kind of schmutz on there or something. But pretty totally awesome that we have that together. So, not bad. Oh, yeah, and then finally, in that Goodwill, believe it or not, same place, for $2, they had a universal cleaning kit for all the systems. I mean, take a look at the systems we have here. Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, Game Boy, Game Gear, Atari 2600 and 7800, TurboGrafx 16, and even the Sega CD. I mean, geez, that's all you ever need, baby. These things, you don't know how good these are. These really work out very well for your old system. So what are we looking at there? That was $11 bucks. $11 for that. Not a stellar deal, but again, there's a difference between you're finding something like this in Goodwill just doesn't happen. And Wonder Boy especially was a game that I was really excited to have for the old Master System. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool finds there. Next, I happen to be in this store that sells. I almost want to call it like an elephant store. Didn't they? That was an old term I think my mom used to use for like thrift stores, an elephant sale. I don't know why she said that, but basically this is a store that gets surplus stuff brought in, and a lot of it's new, believe it or not, and a lot of it's priced, well, but not like crazy good. But looking through their movies and stuff, they actually had a PS2 game that I was like, whoa, where'd this come from? In that JRPG tradition that we're celebrating here today with Steambot Chronicles, I thought it was worth showing that we picked up Persona 4 for the PlayStation 2. This was a really late release for the PlayStation 2 and also a really celebrated release. I've never played these. These are a little too JRPG even for me. I believe you're like a Japanese high school student who like can summon demons, and then your demons fight other kids' demons, and then there's like there's a whole biosphere kind of within the school. There's relationships and probably mini games, which I'd be into, but I don't know. I've never played. But Persona 4 is like, or the Persona series is really very sought after among gamers. And while this isn't that expensive of a title, for 50 cents with both discs, that's and the manual, that's a deal and a half. I was elated. And I believe, oh no, we have one more Persona game for the PSP sitting in the hold, but other than that, that's it. You don't see them sitting around often for good prices, these Persona games. Okay, one more. What's sitting in here is something I'm really excited about, so we're going to get to it, but I just had too much cool stuff that I wanted to go through here. So that's why I didn't, and now that you can see the chest, I feel like I had to hide the rest, so there we go. Alright, so this was a pawn shop scenario, I believe, and craziness abound. Craziness abound. Now, first of all, they had some DS games under glass, and that's what caught my attention at first. They had Pokemon Y, and then I was really excited about this. Two copies of Kirby Superstar Ultra. Kirby Superstar. I'll tell you what, this is the game that made me realize that Kirby's pretty sweet. Kirby Superstar was an SNES game that I played in the 90s. And it's basically got 7 different platformers all on the same cart. And then a couple of really sweet multiplayer games. Nothing big, but things you can play against your friends that are kind of just a touch of the button kind of stuff to see who wins. Some reflex games. But this is really what showed me the versatility of what Kirby was. It's a great game, and the fact that we have 2 of them is actually really good because this is actually a 2-player game. This is one of the cool Kirby games that Kirby's like this big pink puffball. Hold on. I'll show you Kirby. He's a big pink puffball. Alright? And his thing is he can eat people and then take on their abilities. There's Kirby. There he is. He's got a big mouth and he'll swallow you, and then he'll kind of mimic you. The nice thing about this game was he could, instead of taking on that ability, he'd swallow a monster, and then he would summon the monster again to be on his team. And you could have the second player play. So it was a lot of variety there to have be able to be that second person who could just turn into all these different monsters that were found in the games. So pretty cool. We didn't have that in the hold. I'd been looking for that one since it released. Be nice if they were in the case, but that's all right. Grabbing 2 of them for $10. They were $5 each for those 3. The 2 Kirby's and then the Pokemon Y for $5. Really good deal on all those. Those certainly are more than that. As I was waiting in line, I went to the DVD area. Oh, also what was there? Really excited about this. Again for $5. You know, these could have been $3 for all I know. God, I feel bad. I'm going to put it on myself and say $5. I'm pretty sure they were $5 each. They might have been $3, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to say $5. So here we are. this is another DS game, and it was really cool that it came complete. The reason it doesn't surprise me because this is kind of game like, like a Japanese fan adult would buy, like a college student. This is called the Etrian Odyssey, Heroes of Lagard. And this is basically like an old dungeon crawler where you have a party of guys and you're fighting monsters as you find them. But the interesting thing is, this being a DS game, there's two screens on a DS. So the top screen, you actually see the labyrinth in first person. You see the monsters and fight them. But on the bottom screen, if you can see that, there's that map there. And with most games, that map is auto-made for you, but not in the Etrian Odyssey. That was what was so cool about these games, is you would use the stylus for the DS, and you would draw the map on the grid on your own. It was a real throwback to the times of Dungeons and Dragons, or even the NES days when you're playing Metroid, where you would have to draw out your own map. And here they cleaned up the whole system, but still made it that same level of excitement of trying to figure out the right way to go and inching your way along through these dangerous labyrinths. So I never played the second one. I had the first one. Pretty sweet to find this. Again, JRPGs. They seem to be around there today. 3 other games that were $1 each, but I couldn't leave them behind. If anything, they'd be good gifts or something. Resident Evil 4. I'm not a big horror game fan, but this game's really awesome. Really great shooting engine. Pretty fun stuff. I played it on the 3DS. Soul Reaver, I'm relatively sure we have this in the hold, but it's a pretty decent 3D platformer, especially on the Dreamcast. And then I saw this. This is crazy. Again, this is very Japanese, extremely Japanese. Here it is. A complete copy of Kun. I'm relatively sure that's how you say it. Kun. But it's basically a survival horror game. And it takes place in feudal Japan. I don't know that I'll ever play this, but it's extremely rare on the PlayStation 2 system. Extremely rare. We grabbed this guy for $1. It's worth about 100 of those in this condition. The case itself's a little beat up, but the box art is not. So really, this just needs, a case that's worthy of it. And we've got a mint copy here. And for those of you who, need like buzzwords to help you appreciate, this was actually made by From Software. From Software's been very huge, very big in the last 5 years due to the Demon Souls and Dark Souls series. We have a disc-only copy of this sitting in the hold, but to find it like this was a pretty magical moment. I mean, I'm relatively sure my jaw actually dropped. Okay. I don't know that this is nearly as cool as that, but I was really excited to find these. Last place, we walked into a place where they know me. They're nice to me. They're like, let's cuddle Cap and Ray as a deal. Guy gets enough headaches out on his voyages. He had some old PSP games. And he was like, do 50 cents on these for him. So for 50 cents, we picked up 50 cents each. Yu-Gi-Oh! Ultimate Masters. Can you see that through the cellophane? That's a Game Boy Advance game. I just grabbed it just because it wasn't in the hold. 50 cents. I don't know. Probably never play it. Untold Legends. God, I'm really sorry. The problem with PSP games is, first of all, they're not durable. Second of all, they've got that glass on there. I don't know. They're so ugly. But for 50 cents, these are pretty deep games. And if you have a protector case to put some of these loose ones into, it's not so bad. This, I'm actually curious to pop in very soon. It's a PSP System Kiosk, disc number 3. So I guess this was some sort of demo disc that was released to stores, maybe, to put into their demo machine. I mean, I'm not really sure, but that would be my guess. So who knows what's on here, but I love demo discs, and a PSP Kiosk disc was too unique to pass up for, in my opinion. Star Wars Battlefront, Rebel Squadron, or no, Renegades. Yeah, Renegade Squadron. I bet these are coming out terribly. I probably should be taking these out of the plastic. But man, these are kind of a pain to pull out. Let's see. Jeez. Alright, there you go. There you go. Okay. Cool thing about this Battlefront was it was the first one that lets you let you basically customize your whole body. You had like loadout points. You could decide if you wanted a jetpack or not. And more importantly, you could decide what kind of head you had. So you could be like, you know, Greedo or something. That's pretty cool. I just thought that was a nice change. And then finally, a game that I'm quite fond of, and for some reason I lost my copy. I think I still have the case, so to find the actual disc again is awesome. Field Commander. People who like turn-based strategy games like Advance Wars for the Game Boy Advance or Fire Emblem, be super into this one. This is really good on the PSP. Probably one of my favorite games on the PSP, maybe even my favorite. So pretty cool to finally find that one again. And then I'm like, all right, well, thanks for the deal. Yeah, that's cool. Like he had these behind the counter with a whole bunch of other ones, and I'm looking through them and I cherry picked those. And I said, all right, well, I'm gonna go back over to the PS3 stuff and just see what you have out on the floor, you know, before I ring up. He's like, all right, cool. So I didn't see any game. This is all like picked through stuff, except by the DVDs. And by the DVDs, they had these Ultra Nerd Alert. They had Deep Space Nine Complete Season 1. Deep Space Nine Season 2. And then finally, Deep Space Nine Season 3. The first three seasons of my favorite Star Trek series of all time, all back to back. I mean, I know these are on Netflix, but they're not going to be forever. And you're not always sitting at your one Netflix station in the house, you know. There's other places that I would run these. Now I can run them anywhere in the house. And the best part about it is they were marked for $6 each. But when he rang him up, which was a good deal already, but when he rang him up, he's like, well, I'm not going to fix their mistake. I'm like, what's up? He's like, well, they used the same sticker for all three of these. So I'll just charge you for one. So what do you say, $6 for all 3 seasons? I'm like, I am in like Flynn. Absolutely. So yeah, it's pretty good. Now I want to make it clear, this wasn't a whole afternoon that I found all this stuff, okay? I believe I found the Coon lot and the Wonder Boy lot all on the same day. So that was a pretty sweet day. But the Deep Space Nine stuff's a different day. You know, what can I say? It's been good. So yeah, how we doing on time? I'd say we have about 20 minutes left in the birthday celebration. I was really excited to find those because I felt like that's another tie-in to my dear sweet sister's birthday. We've always loved Star Trek. She's always been in the Next Gen. I've always been trying to push Deep Space Nine onto her. But just to have a little Trek in the show, I feel makes this a little more special of a birthday voyage. So, but let's get back to let's get back to Steambot Chronicles. We left right outside the Nefroburg Arena, and it looked like we were actually going to bring our Trotmobile in. So let's see what happens in there. I've never been in there. It's going to be an adventure for both of us. Hopefully this doesn't go our JRPG and we get our ears talked off. That's my job. But anyway, let's get back to Steambot Chronicles, PlayStation 2. Alright. Oh, let me give you a little... There you go, a little harper transition there for you. Alright, we're back. I'm showing, enter the Nefroburg Arena? Sure! What's in it? Walk on in. Let's go. Arenas are located throughout the country. These are venues trot riders place their lives on. The line for wealth and glory. Oh no. What to do, the customers are waiting.
The customer... Oh, that Jimmy's such a wuss. How could he run before the fight?
Okay. I think I shared a tent with this guy in Boy Scout camp one summer. Now what? I'm already regretting walking in here.
Okay. You're a handsome devil.
Hey, I get that all the time.
There's no time for this. Think, Dino, think.
This is PS2 technology. They hadn't perfected mincing about yet.
Would you like to be in a Trotmobile tournament by chance?
Sure.
Sounds like fun. Oh, thank goodness! I needed a replacement, and you're perfect.
I'm sure I am. Check out the butt on that guy's Trotmobile.
Just follow me. I'll explain later.
All right, great. Throw me in there. I want some action. I just want to make it clear, this is one of many, many different things you can do in this game. There's a lot of different vocations and occupations and ways to make money. And ways to spend money.
Get him!
Oh, this looks cool.
Kick some ass! Don't lose to that.
Whoa! Watch your mouth.
Chucky!
Chucky! Alright, stick and move. We've got the cannon. Oh no, am we out of ammo? I sure hope not. Whoa! Have a seat! Lock-on technology giving you a headache yet? I think we got him. Yeah! Don't mess with the bitter barley! Did I mention that's what I named it? My Trotmobile? It's the bitter barley.
I won!
Huzzah! Alright, great, thank you. Not bad. We got a little money for that, I think? Maybe? Let's hope. This is interesting. Yeah, alright. This isn't interesting. Oh, now we're mincing.
Oh, congratulations! You were superb! Legendary! Fantastic!
Fantastic!
Please, take your reward.
I guess. Victory medal. Alright, great, thank you.
Oh,
You know, you don't have to.
I'm Dino,
All right.
the Nefroburg Arena Manager.
Thank you.
A pleasure to meet you. You should definitely fight more often.
I'll
You'd be
consider
on
that.
top and with that Jimmy gone, I could get you a license too sweet.
Yeah, you're too sweet.
Here we are, a rank D license.
Right.
You are now an official battler.
Alright, thank you. So yeah, obviously,
You can fight at any
Okay.
arena in the country.
Okay, we get it. We get it. Don't over-tutorialize me. Alright. Anybody know a way out of here? So, we probably have our Trotmobile parked maybe outside. But let's go on foot a little bit. Yes. And let's celebrate. I wonder if we got any money. We'll check. I sure hope so. I could use some money. There's a couple more things I want to show you that you can do. And again, I've not played this entire game, but I've seen some stuff that leads me to believe that there are things like fishing, other things that you would see in a typical JRPG. But to see them all put together is always a lot of fun. I want to take you guys out to, what's it called again? God, I hope I'm going the right way. I think I'm going the wrong way. This is like an inn. I'm relatively sure I went the wrong way because I'm an idiot. Alright, let's cut through here. But basically, I'm taking us to the hotel because there's a bar at the hotel, and at the bar there's some cool stuff to do. So let's run over there. I feel kind of bad taking the long way, but this is probably good to give you an idea of what city life is like in Trotmobile, in the Steambot Chronicles. Now here is a garage. We've already kind of seen a little bit of that. You bring your Trotmobile there and get it worked on, shop for new parts. Let's stop in here because you actually need to eat in this game. So let's get a snack. I love the first person in this. It's easy to use, and it gives you a nice... Where's all your food, dude? Are you not selling right now? I'm starving. Let's see. I'll have a croissant and some milk. Thank you. Right. Yeah, you actually do have to keep eating in this. Now and then, otherwise they'll, vanilla here will run out of steam. So we'll have a croissant and milk. Delicious. And now we're stuffed. Alright, so we don't have to worry about that for now. So yeah, you know, you have to worry about maintaining your Trotmobile, and you have to worry about maintaining yourself. But let's go head over to the bar. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's got kind of a clever name from what I remember, but here it is, Hotel and Bar. You can stay here, rest up, sleep till morning, because there is a time system in this game. And it just says bar, but I think once we get down there, this guy's wasted. Take a look at him. Drunk in the entrance. What's it? Oh, the Aphrodite bar. Yeah, I like that. That's not bad. So we're almost done here. You're not gonna believe it, but you can actually play pool in this. We're not really gonna have the time to play. Oh god, I kind of want to play. I don't know that we have time for that. But what else you can do here is you can play a host of musical instruments, including the piano. So I'm not going to do the whole song, the big song, but we'll screw around a little bit. Give you an idea. If I play well, this goes out to my sister. And obviously, I'm not that good. I'm gonna say, but again, you can actually devote to that, and if you're good enough, these yahoos in the crowd will actually tip you. So again, it's another way to make money. It's another great game that doesn't depend on that doesn't depend on combat to let you be somebody. Oh, what? Oh, I guess I played this guy last time. Can we play again? Oh, I really wanted to knock a couple balls around. I guess I should have done that with the guy at the arena, huh? All right. Well, we'll let it go. I guess we'll leave it at that. Let me cut it. That was Steambot Chronicles, and again, what did we see there? A lot. There was a lot going on there. I mean, we had combat, we had long sprawling fields, we had customization, an economy system, an arena battle, and we even got to tickle the ivories a little bit. And again, you can even bet on the billiards. Kind of bothered me he wouldn't let me play. I mean, maybe I need to sleep or something. Maybe he'll play me in the morning or something. Maybe I cleaned him out. I don't know about that. But that's only the first town. This was kind of a high pressure voyage actually to get ready for, because when I gave her those 3 destinations, when I gave Tracy those 3 different birthday destinations, a familiar theme park, explore uncharted waters with an old friend, or a trip into your past, I didn't expect her to pick that one. And it was the one game that was like a PlayStation 2 game. The others were games that I played more and knew would be a lot easier to get into. So when she picked that one, I knew I was going to have to do a little cramming to get us ready. So I think I played around 5-6 hours or something and had a lot of fun. One of those hours, maybe even 2, was playing the pool game, playing billiards. So pretty cool. And I really, now that I found out that, because I saw somebody who was willing to buy like fish and shark if you had any. Now that I know that there's probably a way to go fishing with your Troutmobile or even on your own, I'm definitely gonna explore more of this world. And I think that's really what Tracy would want. She's still alive. Would have wanted. She's still alive. She's a year older, but she's still alive, folks. Don't worry. I think that's really what Tracy always wanted, was for people to appreciate Steambot Chronicles. And while it does hold its value these days, nobody knows about it. I mean, really, nobody knows. It got a good, the critics loved it. Anyone who ever played it loved it, but it's one of those many, many games on the PS2 that just kind of fell away because it was during that Grand Theft Auto time where everybody was just, looking to cause a little mayhem. Not, sit at a traffic stop. So thank you, Steambot Chronicles, and again, thank you, Tracy, for being one of those adventurous types who thinks outside the box a little bit and introduces us to something like this. So, clock in the wall is telling me we're almost out of time, if we're not already, but we got time for the old mailbag here. Sitting off in the corner. Let's see what we got here. We have an AF20 Quiet Edition fan for, looks like a computer. A terrible, terrible controller. The Hyperkin Retron 5 controller. And the Retron 5 takes us to some awesome waters, but not with this piece of garbage. We have a stuffed Poliwhirl. Sure. Oh, Marble Madness for the NES. Sweet. And finally, our letter. Alright, let's see what we got here. This comes from Recovery Mom 1, all the way out in Bourbonnais, Illinois. Let's see what she has to say here. Okay. Hey, Cap and Raz. Hey, that's me. I have a question. My biggest fear is that the different food types of food on my plate will be touching each other. Now, as Thanksgiving approaches, I'm filled with anxiety. I lay awake at night worrying about the proximity of the turkey to the mashed potatoes and to the dinner rolls. If that's not bad enough, what if the corn shows up and tries to muscle its way onto the plate? Please advise me. I'm in such a pickle. You're out of your mind. Just eat the food. It's Thanksgiving. I mean, just eat the food. What's the problem? You know what? I'll tell you, that reminds me. When I used to live out on the East Coast, I was on this big kick for a while. Thanksgiving burgers. You ever see one of these? It's a burger on a bun, and it's got a turkey patty, and then it's got mashed potatoes on top of the turkey patty, and then on top of the mashed potatoes is cranberry sauce. Oh, and then there's stuffing too. So mashed potato stuffing, cranberry sauce on a turkey burger. Totally awesome. Just eat your food, lady. I know what your problem is. I mean, geez. You think they have problems like that in Ethiopia? Trust me, they don't. But in any event, happy Thanksgiving that's coming up to you. Try not to lose too much sleep about it. And if you out there have a question to the Gaming Galleon, to the Gaming Galleon, please send it to gaminggalleon@gmail.com. And you may find your way into our next mailbag. So that's it. Again, I want to... I lost the streamer with that guy. We lost our intern. I want to thank all of you out there for stepping outside of your comfort zone, putting down your guns, and putting away your hatchets that you throw into the craniums of zombies for a little while, and just have fun in a little city. I sure wish we could have played some billiards, but take a breather. It doesn't always have to be a crazy voyage, and I especially want to wish my dear sweet sister Tracy a very happy birthday, and I hope she never grows up, because she's one of those blessed people out there that never really did. So I think that's it. I think we had a good time, and I can't wait till the next time we see each other. Oh, until then, farewell and adieu to ye Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. For we received orders for to sail to Nefroburg, and we may never see ye fair ladies again. Double fist in the night. Mainly because I wouldn't be caught dead putting anything in this thing. Hasn't been washed in months. Keep your powder dry, mateys.